Mike Jones here with Ken's, and I am on location on the Autobahn, and I am in the area where there is no speed limit, so therefore I am in absolute heaven. So for those of you that have speed limits back in the States, I'm sorry, here we don't, and that's why I'm just punching it and going as fast as I want to go. Anyway, that has nothing to do with Ken's, but you're gonna love the new show. I can't wait to get back. Wow, you're gonna love the new show. Let's get inside and check it all out. I'm just gonna go as fast as I want for a little while longer. Is that not crazy? Like, again, I didn't need a radar checker because every time I'd ride down the road, it'd tell me how fast I wanted to go. However, again, if you're not familiar with the Autobahn, it is a highway in Germany that when the little light on your dash has a little X to it, that means punch it. And I'm talking about everybody punched it, including people in Ford vans. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen. Now, back in the reality of the world, radar detectors matter. So when you get a Passport Max 360 CI, which means custom installation, you get the inside piece here that sends out basically a wave that's picking up the police officer's radar, and then you have two different sensors on the left and the right. So now you have almost 180 degrees of sensors, as you're seeing here, and they're all custom built. This is one of our guys, Justin. He tucked everything in here. It's all nice and clean, so nothing can get to it. But it's cool because, well, actually, just jumping to the other side, I'll show you how it works out. What's cool about this thing is this thing is all inside. You don't have something hanging from your visor. Look right there on the left side of the steering column right there. That's the control piece. That allows me to adjust for highway or city. It also has XK, KA, wideband KA, and laser. And it has a laser shifter, which is kind of a hashtag jammer, but we can't say jammer anymore, so don't tell anybody I told you that. And then up here, check out this display. This display actually tells you what speed you're going, speed limit wise, it tells you what's going on, and it tells you if it's in front of you or back. It's got these arrows that light up that tell you if the radar's coming from the front or coming from the back, so you can pay attention to what your speed is. But look how that integrates in there, almost as if Ford did it, or if not better, in place and very, very clean. So you got all your controls in place, you got all your sensors in place, you got your laser shifter in place, and you can pick everything up. And let me tell you, if you're one of those guys that just can't stay out of the gas, you just can't stay out of the gas, the Passport Max 360 is how you do it. Now, I'm just going to flip. Now, you can turn around there and I'll show you kind of some other projects we got going on. Like in this 4Runner, a lot of times people just see all the custom stuff we did. So in this 4Runner, as an example, we did a new radio, right? We tied a new radio because they needed Bluetooth, right? And then we took apart the door panels and we put brand new speakers in the front and the back. And I'll just give you an idea. I'm going to jump in front of you here, David. You know, when you have a factory speaker that looks like this, okay, hold on, let me let you see the other side. Are you absolutely, look, hold on, look, this is crazy. These are less than 15 watts, and they sound like they're less than 15 watts. We put we put 320 watt Pioneer speakers in there that fit in the factory location. So it kind of gives you an idea, you know, we do kind of the whole gamut if you want to. Come around here, and this is where I'm going to finish before we go to the next segment. Check that thing out. Is that awesome? And you can't tell it, but on the ground right there shining. We just did a full underglow light kit throughout this Mercedes, and you can probably see it is absolutely fine. He's got RGB control, which means he can do any color under the sun. And we did every bit of this car. And these things, the classic car, let me tell you, they are built like tanks. You have to take your time with it. It took us 7.5 hours to get all this stuff in place. But look at the diversity you're talking about here, right? I mean, you got crazy speed over there with the Mustang, the Ford truck, and it just gives you an idea. These guys, okay, these guys and gals that work for us, they are qualified at every level to do whatever work you need in the 12-volt, you know, car audio ATV boat world. Awesome. All right, January 2019, of course, the deals continue because that's what we do. We give deals. Now, what you need to know, if this is the first time you've ever watched the show, or if it's the 27,000th time you watched the show, I don't even know how to say that word, but however, you need to know that we install car stereos for free since 1978. Unless we have to do some crazy modifications or some kind of really, really big part of the install that's not a factory fit, like the radio fitting in the dash and speakers. And no, there's no trick to it. It is free. They, which means everybody else, charges anywhere from $85 to, I had a ticket in here the other day from one of the big box stores. I'm not going to say who it is, but it rhymes with schmeshmai. And the labor alone, the labor was $350 before they bought the product. They came here, of course, they were already $350 in savings, and we matched their price, and we installed it the same day, and we warranty it, and we lifetime warranty the installation, and we take it out of the car and reinstall your factory for free. These are all the benefits of being a part of what we do, right? We're very passionate to serve you, but there's some humongous world of service that you need to know that exists and will always exist to every client that walks through the door. Now, getting past that part of this, Sony has a brand new radio. Now, this is called Mechless, which means it does not have a CD player, but it's becoming a CD-less world for whatever reason. And this is AM, FM, and it comes with a USB that you can plug in, but it's got CarPlay. Now, the new CarPlay radios start at $299, and check this out. Look, my maps from my phone going to, that's my church, Heritage United Methodist, if you want a good church on Vineville Avenue. And you look at this. This is telling us how to get there instantly. It's so nice. That's the maps from my phone, right? I've got Pandora. Right? I've got a way to go to my text messages. There's my pastor had sent me a text. There's my main menu of my page that shows all my stuff. It now accepts Waze and Spotify, and this is where it's at. This is the cat's meow. This is $299, and this is full touchscreen. You can add a backup camera. When you buy it this month, the backup camera is only $150. Now, they are normally $199 to $299, but for $150, and the installation is still free. What you need to know about this is some vehicles need mounting kits and harnesses, and if you have factory steering wheel controls or if you have a factory backup camera, we can adapt that to the radio. There's a lot of stuff that those brainiacs out there know that they keep in their heads and in those computers to make sure everything fits nice and tight and we don't do any crazy cutting and it all stays together like it should. Now, if you're not a $299 guy, then you definitely are yes, right, I ripped it off because of the price, because now this is $79, right? We now have a Sony CD player with Bluetooth that's just $99, and they have thumb drives to charge your phone, thumb drive where you can plug in your cord and charge your phone. We have Pioneer radios right below it like this, $129, not $159, that comes with Bluetooth and remote control. We've got, I mean, you just look at all, this thing is anything that fits your fancy. I keep it on our displays in Macon and in Warner Robins, but the reason I put this out there, and I had a guy say to me, I love it that you do a car part of the show every single show, and the reason I do that is this stuff changes out. Like our inventory changes out every 30 days. So I try to stay with the newest and the best of everything every 30 days. So keep in mind when you come in, if you haven't been here in a month, there's a good chance these radios have changed and the prices keep getting better. But don't tell anybody, and if you tell anybody, like my Uncle Harry says, tell them not to tell anybody. Now, come over here. Speaker-wise, there are always deals. You know, last month I had the C1 sale for $99. I want you to know that this month I'm going to stick to my guns and offer these Alpine 6.5s, which fit in almost every vehicle made. I'm going to give you a little sound bite, and they sound incredible. Lots of highs. Really clean. Now listen, what you need to know is it has a pivoting tweeter. This allows me to steer the sound whatever direction sounds best inside my vehicle, right? And yes, you can get it with a speaker grill, but if you have a factory door panel, it'll fit right in there. But I'm gonna stick to my guns on this, and even though my brother said we shouldn't, we're gonna do $99 for a pair with free installation. So $99 for the Alpines. Now last month, you remember I had some Pioneers for $99, and I'm sticking to my guns on that too. So now you have a choice of getting the Pioneers or the Alpines for just $99 for two, and we install them for free unless you get some kind of crazy wild hair where you want to put them in your headliner or something. Now, when you come in, make sure you look at our motorcycle speakers. Rockford Fosgate makes a completely all-weather speaker, and we put them in the display just to give people an idea how the tint and the sound, the treble and the bass sounds. Amazing sound. A really, really amazing sound. Now these are about $300 a pair, and before you go, oh my gosh, keep in mind, they are completely weatherproof. You can douse them in the rain and they will survive. They have a 1-year warranty and they sound incredible, and we have folks now that are putting these in their vehicles, not just in their motorcycles. So when you come in, let me put this out there. When you come in to Macon and Warner Robins, okay, 2019 started, and we are constantly smacking those deals down, right? I loaded up at Christmas, we sold all that, and now we're kind of moving into January, and I've already loaded up again. But you need to know that we are blessed to be able to buy at a rate that keeps us very competitive with the internet and with the big box world, but we install and we service. So if price is your game, I got price, right? If service is your game, well, we've always had service. We're in year 41, and that's kind of part of a deal. You know, if you got to figure out how to handle your monies, I've got 4-month layaway. You know, I've got no interest for a year or 2 years, and I've got no credit check financing. So I've got kind of all the logistic it takes for you to get it all together. You just got to come in and pick it out. And you might say, well, what if I want the best brands in the business? Well, we got that. I've got Pioneer, I've got Alpine, I've got JL Audio, I've got Sony, Rockford, Fosgate. I mean, these are the best guys in business, and we've had them forever. And the reason we stick with the brands we do is, if you have a problem, I don't answer to anyone. I take it out and I put a brand new one in its place when you're under warranty, and that's the way it works. And that is all right. If you don't know what that is, that's a record, and it came in a record cover. Fleetwood Mac, right? But listen, turntables have been back for 2 years. People buy a lot of turntables now. They don't need what they call a floating magnetic cartridge anymore. None of that preamp stuff built in is built in, so it plugs in just like a CD player, which means if you have an old school or a new school amplifier, these just have 2 RCA cables that plug in and you're good to go. The new turntables have an option of getting a USB where you can actually download your albums onto your computer, which is super cool, so you get your vinyl sound through your computer. These normally are around $199. Now, this is Yamaha's 2-channel. My guys call it the old school amplifier because it is a true 200-watt amp. It does have Bluetooth, so I can actually sync my music from my phone to it. I can hardwire my phone onto it, but it is 2-channel, so it doesn't get into all the surround sound and all the crazy inputs. It's just real simple and easy to use. And then these are Yamaha's new 3-way bookshelf speakers. Now, these are $199 retail. They are $149 for the pair. We have tried to stick to that price since day one. I want you to see the build quality for $149. That is a true 3-watt, 140-watt bookshelf speaker. And I'm going to give you a little sound demo, and it's going to blow your mind. This old school package is $499, and listen at the clarity. When the rain washes you clean, you'll know. Now, we have a section that is called Scratch and Dent in our store, and really, honest to goodness, some of our scratch and dent is what other folks' brand new is, but we get some really good deals. So when you come in here, this is always changing. You know, some of these are real great deals, like TVs like this that have to be hung on the wall because we don't have the bases for them. They end up, you know, you end up getting like a 65-inch TV for $400 or $500, or you end up getting like a 55-inch TV for $400 or $200. I just sold somebody the other day a 32-inch that was only 3 months old for $94, which is awesome. So when you come in here, I got sound bars, receivers, I got CD players, Blu-ray players, car stereo parts, and all this stuff just ends up in this little area, and they're just a bargain. So we check everything out to make sure it's in working order, so you should at least come in here and kind of henpeck and find yourself a smoking deal. All right, the weekday and Sunday preschool, which is babies to 4 years old, this is Northways. This is kind of a wing of the church, if you will, and they want it to be safe and secure. So what we did is we came in and we broke this hallway down with cameras so you can see what's going on. If you'll walk into one of these classrooms for me. Don't mind them. All right, this right here is a camera. This has 158 degrees of left to right width. And what this allows us to do is it's a true 1080p full HD camera. It can see day and night. We don't need the nighttime as much in here, but we definitely need the wide angle. So I can see from the counter all the way over to, say, this little kitchen set. And when the kids are all in here, I can see the teacher, I can see the kids, and you just have that safety in every classroom in this hallway. So every single inch of this classroom is covered. Now, let me show you something out here in the hallway. You'll really, really love this. Come around this corner. Now, you see this camera. This is seeing down the hallway, but you have 2 ways to go out right here. So now we have 2 different camera views right here that allows me to see both ends of the hallway. So no matter where folks are, when they come through that door, they're being seen from here all the way down that hallway, all the way out into the foyer, all the way outside to go out into the parking lot. There is not an inch of this part of the building that you're not being watched and recorded. It records 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we put a massive 8-terabyte hard drive, which will give them months of footage in case you need to go back. All right, now back in here, this is where you come in into the Northway for the check-in, right? So I've got a camera over there. As you can see, it kind of sees the foyer, right? And then I got one up above my head here that sees anybody. So no matter whether I'm facing that way or facing this way, we see who dropped the child off, you know, parent, uncles, what all that happens. Back there's the infant rooms. Let me tell you what's cool about this. Walk back here for me. In the infant rooms, it's nice because you have to be really, very careful because you need the cameras to have a proper view, right? Look at this. the camera's up there, but they have a changing station. So obviously you have to have the privacy of the changing station. So the way that's mounted is, it starts past this rocking chair, but you still get a full view of all the infants in the room. This really, really makes everything nice and simple and easy to use. And we didn't have to have 2 cameras in the room. This is a really large room as well. So right now, when you have 30 plus views of your preschool area, it really, for me, it would make me, I mean, my kids are this big now, but it would make me feel super safe knowing that every inch of this part where my child is being watched. How awesome is that? Now, I'm going to take you to the command center, and this is straight up awesome. We had to do a really massive TV, which obviously have a 55-inch LED LG. And the cool thing about this is I can put this grid up here with 25 cameras at a time, which is nice. Now, I want you to see some detail and get an idea of what we're dealing with here. Look at the detail here. That is absolutely, I want to tell you, phenomenal to have that kind of detail. Let me just show you some more. Look at this outdoor playground. Look at that. I mean, look at the pine straw. Look at this stuff. These little rubber pieces that they decided to do. It's more protection than anything else. But look at how amazing the view is. You cannot tell me that this would not make you feel completely safe. Look at the absolute detail. You can count how many chairs are on the table. This is what I'm talking about, folks, because if you're buying that stuff that's not true 1080p, it can say HD all day long, but if it's not true HD, it's just not the right deal. You have to have detail like this, or just don't buy any cameras whatsoever. Now, the idea to remember about this is, when we came in to design this, you know, we kind of went back and forth with, you know, maybe 30, 32 views, and we ended up with about 26 views. And you know, the idea behind this is, these guys come in and we do a plan to make sure that we don't miss 1 square inch, and then we leave some ports open in case we want to add some down a different hallway or somewhere another time. It's remote viewable too. So David, the guy that's in charge of this whole church as far as the AV world of it goes, he has a way to view it from his smart devices and see what's going on and make sure things are safe and secure. Meanwhile, there's a huge surge protector that covers surges and stuff like that. It has fuse panels all built into it, and a massive 8 terabyte hard drive, because you have this much HD streaming at the same time. I'll give you one more view. I just want you to see this hallway view and look at the detail. That is amazing. Now, something you got to remember is, with us, you know, we are 40 years in business, and we give you a 2-year warranty right out of that. You are not charged extra for that warranty. 2 years on all security cameras, and that is parts, labor, in-house or in business, on site. What that means is, if you have a problem, my men will come out and we will swap that piece out for a brand new one at no charge, no nothing. You are not going to ever be without your cameras working. That's the idea behind our service, is I control the service. I don't answer to anyone. And I don't say that in a boastful way. I'm very proud that I have the position I have, because if you call me and you have a problem, I go boom, and that problem's taken care of. That's why we give such a big warranty right out of the gate. So give me a call. I'm sure my number comes up on the screen. But, I mean, can you absolutely, positively beat it? It is not. Look at this. Look at this. That's not a possibility, folks. Awesome.
My first experience with Ken's goes back to 2003, when we got to do the very first Ken's video showcase. And I can remember having a conversation with Ken back then about, you know, Wall Digital Media was a fairly new business. I hadn't been doing it very long, and we talked about, you know, you work harder, and it means more when you put your name on it. Your reputation's on the line. And Ken's, Michael, Kenny, they've lived up to that reputation for 40 years now. And for a business to thrive for 40 years through the economies, you know, both good and bad, that we've had, that really lets you know that they're doing something right. And I see that behind the scenes when I'm shooting the show with them, just the repeat customers that they have, the people that come back, and they're not just selling products, they're servicing the products, but they're also building relationships. Besides being a media production company, I'm also the tech and media director for a local church, and when we have tech requirements as far as projectors, screens, digital signage, sound, Ken's, you know, they're my go-to. So I just give Mike a call, and we're good to go. I think he enjoys the challenges that we come up with, and it's really cool to see the gears start turning in his head when there is a challenge. They stay so up to date on current technology, pretty much to the point where I feel like they're probably experts on things before the general public even knows a certain technology exists. So I really, really appreciate Ken's, not just from a professional standpoint of getting to do work for them, but just on a personal level. Mike especially has been a great friend. Kenny's great. Austin's great. Justin's great. It's truly a family-run business, and I always look back fondly on the time I got to spend with Ken shooting shows, and I think about that very first "Don't Be a Duck" radio commercial I heard when I was a kid. That just brings back really good memories, and it's just Ken's is just a great company to do business with.
Jeep Wrangler. Now, it had factory headlights and factory fog lights, which are okay. Incandescent, got that yellow light to it, doesn't show very far. So they wanted to do LED lights because they have twice the range. So we did LED. Now, these are replacement lights. You take out your factory light and you put in these. And then they decided that once they did the LEDs here, to do LEDs here. So now what we keep in stock for you guys that are Jeep guys is the LED headlight, LED fog light. But they also wanted to do the halo ring, so we did the halos in the top and in the bottom. It comes with a Bluetooth remote control, which allows me to control, and I can do any color that I choose. Look at this. All of this comes around. I've also got modes that I can go to that allows it to flicker through. You see how it goes through different stages, or you can slow it all down where it'll fade, which is super nice. And I just love the way this kind of modernizes the look of the Jeep. Really nice and clean. Now, this installation itself was to kind of complement, we did this huge light bar up here, which is more for off-road, right? And this, even though this has a lot of cool factor to it, it is very functional as far as seeing down the road when you go to your LED conversion from the incandescent conversion. So we keep the tail lights, the fog lights, the headlights in stock for you Jeep guys in our Macon and our Warner Robins store, and we can do every bit of this work in about 4.5 to 5.5 hours complete. So they'll be picking this thing up here in the next hour and a half, and they are going to be in, based on how they left it and based on the way they're getting it, they are going to love it, love it, love it. Okay, at New Hope Church in Perry, Georgia. Now you're probably going to see during this some kind of chopped up pictures that we've been taking. They had the old standard lamp style projectors, and they have upgraded to full HD and laser technology from Sony. Now Sony is the best in the laser technology world. Now come this way with me, Jarvis. So you'll see these right here are about 16 feet off the ground. So we had to have scaffold to get to the top here, and they already had some posts from their older projectors or their pre-existing projectors that we took down. And the laser, the idea behind laser is you get 5,000 lumens of projector, right, which is bright. They had 6,000 lumens, but the 5,000 is about 25% brighter, but you don't have a lamp, so there's no maintenance long-term. The standard projectors will go about 2,500 hours, and then you have to change the lamp and the filter. Well, to get up there, you have to have scaffolding and all these expenses that go to that servicing. These will go 20,000 hours, and then you just discard them and start over, which would be, in church world, about 10 or 12 years before you have to think about that again. Now, the screens up here are 150 plus inches, about 161 inches, and they are fixed screens. They're absolutely perfect in the way that they are set up. As you see how bright, we have all of the lights on in here, and it just works like a champ. Everything is controlled from the back. You'll see they have a control room in the back right there. Now, right in the middle of this install, we were taking some of the pre-existing projectors and moving it back here. However, once we got to start talking to all the folks that make decisions here, they decided to stay with laser back here as well, because this one is 26 feet in the air. This is Gene. He handles the carpentry side, installation side of who we are. Hey, Gene. All right, so this is our scaffold. We're 3 layers high, as you see. Now tell us where you are with the install.
Well, what was originally set up was this actually sits up inside the ceiling itself. So you actually didn't see this, but as you can see, this is the support that actually holds that projector. But as you can see now, with these new towels, the replacement towels, that the projector just hangs on the pole.
So it's a 2 foot by 2 foot tile.
Awesome.
That has the projector mount built into it.
Pull it
so
out.
Now you have the stability, and you don't have to use a 2x4 to hold,
Exactly.
hold everything in place. Now, That is way, way, way up there. So obviously there's an advantage to us not having to change the lamp later on down the line. Now, here's what you need to know is that screen is a 4x3, which is a square screen. And this particular setup is kind of, I don't want to say old school, but it's technology from before. You know how we used to all have square TVs and now we all have flat panels that are rectangular. Well, this format, the nice thing about these new lasers is they adjust to this format. So therefore, we didn't have to replace a $2,500 screen in the back. We can still use that so that they can still display messages for the pastor and the choir and all the folks that are up in the pulpit and the stage area. So look, this is not a 6-hour install. This takes about 20 hours of time when you are 26 feet in the air and 16 feet in the air. Everything is full 1080p ready for 4K HD. Everything is HDMI driven. Everything controlled from their control tower over there. And I'm telling you, end of the day, let me flip it back around. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing how bright that is, and it's backed by our 2-year warranty that is on site for 2 years, parts, labor, in-house. That's the reason they chose us, is obviously we hit budget, but I mean, this is absolute install perfection. That is New Hope Church in Perry. You got to come down and worship with them. They are on. All right, wow. How about that? Here we are, month 1, 2019. I just love it. I know in 2 Corinthians 5:17 it says, the old is gone and the new is here, right? So if you're saying, hey, I'm ready for a new beginning, I think you're in January of 2019 and everything's looking up from here, right? So let me tell you just some things. Our social media is coming up right here. I really want you to spend some time. We have a brand new website that's fixing to launch. I don't know if it's up yet or not. You can go to kensonline.com and kind of see where we stand with that brand new website. Of course, you know we have Facebook. We also have Instagram, which you can also go, that's under Kens_AV, which gives you some time. And of course, you can go to our YouTube channel, and there's constantly stuff being updated on the YouTube channel. But what's cool is I'm inviting you to go to those areas to see what you let us do, right? I mean, we get to really do some funky stuff, right? Now, at the end of the day, if you can dream it in the audio and video world, you know, we've always stuck to what we know. The original roots to our company is stick with what we know, right? It's audio and video, right? We do security. That's kind of our world. That's what we're ingrained to do. That's what everybody in this company has to be trained is to be able to help in any part of that company. Nobody walks around here saying that's not my job, because every bit of it is our job. We have in-store service, right? We are passionate about the fact that we can service products in our own store and repair it to put it back in place for you or replace it, which is what we normally do. Free estimates. My phone number is coming up right here. You can call me anytime you want. You will not get me on Sundays. I'm a pastor, so I spend a lot of time with my church and my family on Sundays. But you just shoot me a text or call me, and I'll get back in touch with you as fast as I can. And I will come out and design a system for your house that we can install, or design a system for your garage, or for your business, or for the hospital. We do Navicent's work, right? Or your power company. We do Georgia Power, which is a Southern company. We do their work. I'm very thankful to do that work. And do we travel? Sure. I did Plant Macintosh in Savannah, and right now we're in the middle of downtown Atlanta doing some restaurants. So I don't say that for any reason, but just to tell you this is what we do. And I'm so thankful that you let us do it. And give us some challenges. We love it. Come see us at Kens in Macon and One Rock. All right, so this is a script. My dad used to give me these scripts back when I used to film, and I would stutter just as much as I have been today. He would hand me, he goes, no, say it like this, say it like this. I can still hear his voice. It's driving me crazy sometimes. But when I don't do a script, we can do a 30-minute show in 30 minutes and 30 seconds. When I do have a script, it takes all day. We started this morning at 6 a.m. Awesome. What's wow and flutter? What is wow and flutter? You don't necessarily have to have a radar detector. Check this out.
Let's do it one more time.
Okay, that was dumb.
That was perfect.
Okay.
I mean, other than that.
Okay, ready?
All right. Yeah.
Ready,
Yep.
set, go. How now, brown cow? How now, brown cow? The Human Torch. That's a nutty squirrel.